In the heart of Eastern Europe, a tense and dramatic situation unfolds, capturing the attention of the world. As the Ukrainian armed forces find themselves ensnared in a precarious position in Vika Novosilka, south of Donetsk, the scenario presents an increasingly dire picture. The echoes of past battles, such as the fall of Vuhledar, loom ominously over the current predicament. Russian forces have effectively trapped Ukrainian units in Vika Novosilka, with their withdrawal appearing imminent. The strategic positioning of Russian forces, supported by relentless air and space assaults, has made any escape for the Ukrainian troops fraught with danger. The loss of control over key settlements, like Vimivka, has only tightened the noose around the Ukrainian forces, leading to a situation where their options are dwindling. The Ukrainian army faces a solitary route to reconnect with its main forces via a tenuous corridor to the northwest. This path, however, is anything but secure. The absence of bridges or pontoons across the Emokyali River further complicates any potential retreat, forcing Ukrainian forces to consider abandoning equipment in a bid for survival. This desperate scenario recalls the previous plight of the 72nd Independent Mechanized Brigade during the Battle for Vuhledar, where a similar withdrawal attempt ended in devastating losses. In Vika Novosilka, the Ukrainian units, likely composed of 1 or 2 battalions, are now confronting even graver odds. As Russian forces prepare a springboard for further offensives, the Ukrainian troops' chances of a successful retreat diminish by the hour. The narrative of struggle and resistance is further highlighted by geolocated videos depicting Russian advances around Ivanivka, pushing towards strategic locations like the hills and the village of Kodesi in Pokrovsk. Reports from Russian military bloggers confirm the capture of entire villages, such as Dakhny, which opens direct routes for further Russian advances. This relentless push westward brings Russian forces closer to Kostiantynivka, a village that, if captured, could significantly disrupt Ukrainian logistical supplies. Meanwhile, Ukrainian counteroffensives persist, with reports of continued control over regions like Kursk, despite recent Russian advances. The village of Taika, for instance, remains under Ukrainian protection, standing as a testament to the resilience and determination of the Ukrainian forces. However, the pressure mounts as Moscow's forces seize defensive positions in Toretsk, intensifying their attacks on the central and northern regions of Ukraine. In response, Kiev has launched drone strikes on Russian territories, including Oryol and Kaluga, signaling the ongoing tit-for-tat nature of this conflict. Russian shock troops have improved their tactical positions west of Ivanivka, moving closer to Kolodesi, and are steadily approaching the Pokrovsk-Monorat region. The fierce battles in the northwestern suburbs of Toretsk, with Russian vanguard units fighting in key areas, underline the intensity of the conflict. As both sides vie for strategic advantages, the situation in Toretsk becomes a microcosm of the broader war effort. Russian forces have taken control of much of the city, with highly mobile attack troops occupying key positions as of January 20th. The fight for the last Ukrainian defensive outpost in the city continues with unrelenting ferocity. As the situation in Ukraine remains fluid and complex, questions linger about the future of this conflict. The war's conclusion seems elusive, with both sides entrenched in a struggle that shows no signs of abating. President Emmanuel Macron of France has highlighted the enduring nature of the conflict, emphasizing the importance of supporting Kyiv and preparing for future negotiations from a position of strength. As the world watches, the struggle for Ukraine's sovereignty continues, raising questions about the future of Europe and the global order. What lies ahead for this war-torn region, and how will the international community respond to the unfolding crisis? These questions linger, encouraging viewers to engage with the ongoing narrative and consider the broader implications of this enduring conflict. As the conflict in Ukraine intensifies, the stakes grow higher not only for the nations directly involved, but also for the global geopolitical landscape. Russian armed forces, emboldened by territorial gains, continue their advance, seizing critical areas like Welika, Novosilka, Uzbanovka, and Slavyanka in the Donetsk region. These advances signal a strategic shift, as Moscow's troops press deeper into Ukrainian territory, aiming to consolidate their hold and disrupt Ukrainian defenses. In the Luhansk region, Russian forces have approached the village of Nadesta, while in the Kharkiv region, reports indicate penetration into Verkhna. These movements reveal a calculated effort to encircle Ukrainian positions and weaken their ability to mount effective resistance. The Russian strategy of cutting off supply lines and isolating key settlements is evident as they attempt to conquer Velinovosilka and secure the Strait of Sel. By bypassing Pokrovsk from the south and moving into the Potovsk region, Russian forces are poised to make significant inroads along the strategic Mesivaya-Pokrovsk highway. Sergei Dobryak, head of the military administration in Pokrovsk, has exposed the proximity of Russian forces, reportedly less than 3 kilometers from the city. This proximity underscores the urgency and gravity of the situation, as fierce battles rage on, with Moscow troops employing a scorched earth tactic. Such tactics, aimed at obliterating the infrastructure and military positions of Ukraine, reflect the brutal nature of the ongoing conflict. Despite the relentless Russian advances, Ukrainian forces continue to demonstrate resilience, launching counterattacks to halt the Russian momentum. Fierce battles are reported in the southwestern district of Zabalka-Fort Loud, where Ukrainian forces are determined to hold their ground against Moscow's onslaught. The Ukrainian General Staff has reported 16 successful attacks against Russian forces, breaking through defensive lines in the direction of Toretsk. This resistance highlights the tenacity and courage of the Ukrainian armed forces as they fight to protect their homeland from encroaching forces. On January 20th, the Ukrainian General Staff reported a total of 151 battles, with significant skirmishes occurring in the Pokrovsk direction. These clashes included 3 rocket attacks, 46 airstrikes, and the deployment of kamikaze drones, alongside thousands of artillery attacks. Despite the intensity of these engagements, the Ukrainian defense forces have largely managed to fend off Russian attacks, particularly in key front sections like Kharkiv, Kupiansk, Limanan, Seversk, Kramatorsk, Tesk, and Novopavlivka. In the Kursk direction, skirmishes have also been reported, highlighting the widespread nature of the conflict as Russia continues its incursion into the regions of Kharkiv, Luhansk, and Donetsk. As of the morning of January 21st, the Deep State Channel confirmed ongoing connections with the head office of the Ukrainian Military Intelligence Service, providing updates on the progress of Russian forces in densely populated areas. The territorial gains of the Russian forces in the Donetsk region, as reported by Deep State, emphasize the complex and dynamic nature of the conflict. The battles for settlements like Welikaya, Novosilka, and Uspinovka showcase the high stakes and strategic maneuvers at play. In the Luhansk region, Moscow troops have advanced towards the village of Nadesta, while in the Kharkiv region, the penetration into Verkhna represents another front in this multifaceted conflict. As the Russian armed forces strive to isolate and conquer key locations, the struggle for control continues unabated. The conflict in Ukraine remains a focal point of international concern, with implications that extend far beyond the immediate battlefield. As the world grapples with the unfolding events, questions arise about the broader geopolitical ramifications and the potential for resolution. How will the balance of power shift in the region, and what role will the international community play in shaping the outcome? These questions invite reflection and engagement, encouraging viewers to stay informed and consider the complex interplay of forces at work in this ongoing crisis. As the conflict in Ukraine continues to dominate headlines, the international community is acutely aware of its broader implications. The struggle is not just about territorial gains, but also about the future stability of Europe and global geopolitics. In a world where the consequences of war ripple far beyond borders, the actions of nations like Russia and Ukraine take on profound significance. President Emmanuel Macron of France has emphasized the importance of supporting Ukraine, underscoring the need to provide Kyiv with the means to negotiate from a position of strength. His call for military and financial aid reflects a commitment to ensuring that Ukraine can withstand the pressures it faces and emerge with its sovereignty intact. Macron's remarks highlight a crucial aspect of the conflict: the need for a long-term strategy that not only addresses immediate military concerns, but also considers the post-war landscape. The French president has called for proposals to mobilize more young volunteers to support the armed forces, reflecting a recognition of the conflict's potential duration. This foresight is echoed by NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who has congratulated U.S. President Donald Trump on his inauguration and stressed the importance of increased defense spending and accelerated armament production. Wooder's comments underscore the need for a robust and unified response to the challenges posed by the conflict, emphasizing the role of NATO as a bulwark against aggression. As President Trump takes office, becoming the second U.S. president in history to serve two non-consecutive terms, he has vowed to usher in a new era of American leadership. His inaugural address promises the beginning of a golden age for America, marked by a commitment to peace and stability. Trump's vision of a peacemaking role for the United States is one that resonates with the aspirations of many. Yet the path to achieving such a goal is fraught with complexity. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine serves as a reminder of the delicate balance of power in the world and the importance of diplomatic engagement. As the world watches the unfolding events, the question remains, how will the international community navigate these turbulent waters and work towards a lasting resolution? The situation in Ukraine is a stark testament to the challenges faced by nations in an interconnected world. The conflict's resolution will require not just military might, but also diplomatic finesse, cooperation, and a commitment to building a future where such conflicts are averted. In this context, the role of international organizations and alliances becomes paramount. Their ability to facilitate dialogue, provide support, and ensure security guarantees will be crucial in shaping the post-conflict landscape. The stakes are high, and the path forward is uncertain, but the potential for a more stable and secure world remains a goal worth striving for. As viewers reflect on the ongoing conflict and its implications, they are invited to engage with these critical issues and consider the role they can play in shaping a more peaceful future. The narrative of struggle, resilience, and hope continues to unfold, offering lessons and insights that resonate far beyond the immediate crisis. As the world grapples with these challenges, the question lingers: what kind of world do we want to build, and how can we work together to achieve it? These reflections encourage viewers to stay informed, engaged, and committed to the ideals of peace and cooperation, fostering a community of global citizens ready to face the challenges of tomorrow.